Welcome, Knicks Nation. Happy Sunday. I hope that your weekend is going well and that you are enjoying your weekend in health and safety with your family, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with first responders who every day are doing their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are helping those and rescuing those that are victims of prostitution, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demands that these industries exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, and senior citizens homeless in the United States of America and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, my brother Lonnie, Guilford McCormick, V. Speck, Deshaun Wilson, Clint Stewart, John Pettit. Welcome to the chat. I gave John Asaro a warning. Don't come in here with that. You should know better. By now, y'all know my channel. So John Asaro walked in balancing act on the third rail. And so I just gave him a warning by removing his content. If he comes back, he'll get the 3-week rest. He'll get the 3-week timeout, okay, for the third rail option that he chooses to be in. So yeah, that's that. Where else? Welcome Ron Cohen, Samuel Rio, Senior Beef. Welcome Craig Weston. Welcome Superstar Royce. Welcome James Gant. Welcome Allah Wise, my brother, Organic Fanatic, Castle King. Welcome Charles Dead. Welcome to all of y'all. Ron Bees, Bernadette Lumley. Welcome Bernadette. Optimistic Giants fan. Welcome to you. This is the thing. I think y'all would please tell me, you may or may not like how I run my channel, but y'all do understand the rules of the channel, right? I just want to make sure, like, people come in and act like they've never seen or understood the rules of the channel. And they get booted a couple of times and they come back and act like I'm supposed to change. I mean, you may not like the rules of the channel, but they are what they are, right? I mean, I don't think they're complicated. I don't think it's very complicated, right? So that's what I'm saying. So like, you come in and you act a fool and you act like, why'd you boot me? I mean, are you kidding me? You gonna walk in, the Knicks suck, I'd rather throw up than watch the Knicks, and you want me to explain why I booted you? No, seriously. So let me just reiterate, this is a Knicks channel, a channel for Knicks people that love the Knicks. Okay, it's not a channel for debate about why we hate the Knicks or why Tibbs should be fired or why certain players should play more or why we want to second guess the coach. That's not the channel. The channel is in full support of the Knicks. Full support. Like, listen, y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. I can't talk to y'all that, well, maybe I can, but y'all who are married to somebody that you love, right? You married to somebody you love, right? Or you with somebody you love. Put it that way. You ain't got to be married, but you with somebody you love. Don't you support that person? Don't you support that person regardless of what it is that comes forth, regardless of how they might smell a particular day, regardless of how they dress a particular day? You with that person regardless, because that's who you with. That's how I am with the New York Knicks. I don't want to hear somebody talk about why this coach stinks or what mistakes he made or why he needs to be fired, or I don't need that. I don't want that. Okay. That's not what this channel is about. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So that's that. I just want to make sure we all understand that. That's how it is. And then, of course, there are certain people that I really support. Tom Thibodeau, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, McCall Bridges. I got all of their backs like very hard. Yeah, you could say I'm swinging on their nuts. Fine, but I got their back. You cannot come in here talking about them. Okay, you're going to get got. You can't do it. Okay, it's off limits. Off limits. Okay, and what I'm really trying to do, Fred, what I'm really trying to do after many decades of futility, I'm trying to help people understand you got something now. Don't mess it up. It's like you've been through many bad relationships, right? And you finally get something that's worth keeping. And you may not recognize it because of all the garbage and the baggage that you've carried from your previous bad relationships. And some of your friends are trying to tell you, listen, you got something good here. Don't mess it up. That's what I'm trying to say. You got something good here. Don't mess it up. Something to do with Asaro. I forgot his, I think it was John Asaro. He come in here acting a fool. And I was like, I don't know what you was drinking today, but no, you can't. No, I don't care who you are. You can't come in here like that. You just can't. Okay? I'd rather you not come. Just don't come. Just don't. Okay? Do something else. Do something else with your time this morning. Right? But yeah. So, yeah, right. So I'm saying, Yuri, see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. See, so that's what a lot, and I understand the battered wife syndrome aspect, but after a while you got to get over that, right? You gotta move on. You gotta get over it, right? You can't just continue to act like an a-hole because you had bad situations in the past. You see what you do then is you're carrying it with you into your present situation. And that never works out well, does it? Right? I mean, you keep carrying your baggage from the past into your present situation. You're not going to help your present situation. Does that make sense, y'all? So I'm that's where I'm coming from. So I've seen so many bad organized teams, organized New York Knicks front offices terribly run, that once I see one that's like, wait, what? We got something. I've been looking for a San Antonio Spurs, a Miami Heat, a Boston Celtics type run organization. I've been looking for that for a long time. And we never had it until now. We got it now. We got it. Okay, we got it. And we got too many people still wanting to be negative. And what it is, again, and we're going to talk about Tyler Kolek today, Yuri. I think you're going to be happy. We're going to talk about Tyler Kolek today. But let me say this. In New York, you guys must understand that the media has a natural inclination to be negative toward the Knicks because one of three big reasons, but one of the reasons is they want to be negative toward James Dolan. Okay? And they got their reasons for being negative toward James Dolan if you know the history of James Dolan in the Knicks. And the times when James Dolan told the Daily News, you can't have reporters in our locker room. The times when James Dolan wasn't having it with the New York Post writers because of the crap they was writing. And they have had it in for him since then. Media is like, national media in general is like a big club, okay? Like a big club. And when one of them gets smacked, they all take up for each other, okay? Unless there's something really bad, like a sexual pervert or something. They generally take up for each other. And so once media started getting offended at Dolan, it spread. And it's still like that, okay? They don't like him. And he does things that, like I said, he has done things that other owners have not done with the Knicks. And again, I will never forget, first black head coach, black president of basketball operations, and black general manager at the same time was James Dolan. At the same time. Okay? It didn't matter who it was. He did it. When everybody was against him putting Steve Mills in the GM spot, he did it anyway. Now, I'm not saying Steve Mills was good or bad, but my point was he did not listen to what everybody was telling him to do. He did what he thought was the right thing to do. I did not like Isaiah Thomas as a coach. I felt he had too much power as a president, but James Dolan stuck by him. Even with the whole sexual harassment thing, James Dolan stuck by him. I will never forget when Latrell Sprewell went to the Timberwolves and they came back to play the Knicks, and at every basket, he cursed James Dolan out. James Dolan was sitting right under the basket, and at every basket, he would stop and curse James Dolan out and run up the floor. And James Dolan just sat there and smiled. Guess who's working with the New York Knicks organization right now, getting paid by James Dolan? Latrell Sprewell, who blew through all his money gambling and whoring. And Latrell Sprewell blew through all his money. The guy that said, I can't support my family on $6 million a year. And now James Dolan hired him. So the media don't like James Dolan. He don't jump on their bandwagons. Okay? He don't jump on their bandwagon. Plus, he's a Trump supporter. I don't care about his politics. I don't care about anybody's politics. But people bringing this stuff into the sports world, I felt is ridiculous. Sports is entertainment. Ain't got nothing to do with your politics. He can support whoever he wants. That's his business. So that's one of the reasons that James Dolan is hated. And it's one of the reasons on the DL that a lot of negativity comes from other media outlets about the Knicks. Y'all need to recognize that's happening. So that way you don't buy into the BS that they be pushing. And when the Knicks were bad, oh man, the second reason is it's good money to beat up on the Knicks, because the Knicks nation is one of the biggest sports nations on the planet, right? I mean, you got some football, soccer, and on worldwide that's bigger. But and you even got like the Lakers is a big nation fan base. The Lakers are huge. The Boston Celtics are huge, but the Knicks are right there. So you got Knicks lovers all over the planet, and so to hate the Knicks brings out the Knicks lovers in defense of the Knicks, and that makes money. That's clicks right there. Even losers on some of these content that don't know what the hell they talking about basketball, they know that, and they do that on purpose. They bring up trades, they bring up stuff to get y'all to click on it. And y'all got to recognize that's what's going on. You got to separate these little tricks and nuances from basketball facts. That's all I'm saying. From basketball facts. There are basketball facts, and then there's all of this other crap. Okay? Now, let me start off with Tyler Kolek. I think it was a week ago I told y'all that he looked stronger. Y'all remember that? I said he looked like he'd been working in the weight room, and I was impressed with that because I told y'all he needs to do that to be able to play some semblance of defense. Okay? And he got some minutes yesterday, and those was the best minutes he played the whole season. He played decent defense. We already know the reason Kolek is in the NBA is because of his ability to pass the basketball and shoot the basketball. That's why he's in the league. He can shoot and pass on the NBA level. Okay? That's why he's in the league. Everybody has a calling card that gets you noticed by the league. Like with Deuce, it was defense and toughness. That's what got him noticed. He could shoot too. But what got him on the Knicks and what got him in Thibodeau's eyes was that defense and the toughness. With Kolek is his offensive ability, his ability to pass the basketball and shoot the basketball. Okay? My problem with Knicks Nation pushing this kid is that y'all pushing too fast. You're expecting him to play minutes that it ain't ready for him to play yet in front of people that he shouldn't be playing in front of. That's the problem I have with y'all. In the future, I expect Kolek, Deuce, and Brunson to be the guard rotation for the Knicks. Okay? But y'all are pushing for it to happen now. That's the problem. You can't do it now. He's not ready now. You're going to lose big games because of that now. That's the problem. Okay? What he gets now because Deuce was hurt yesterday. And Thibodeau had to play him a few minutes. And Thibodeau did. And he was ready. And that's going to win him favor next season with Thibodeau. When Thibodeau calls on you, you best be ready. I used to be the biggest Frank Ntilikina fan out there. I was in Frank Hive from the start because of his basketball ability on the defensive end of the floor. But the boy is a walking groin pull. And that's what got him out in New York. He's a walking groin pull. I did not know that. And there was no way for me to know that until he kept doing it. Every time he get his opportunity to play pull groin. He was Anthony Ambulance in the groin department. He was the chairman of the pull groin department in Anthony Ambulance University. That's why he ain't here. So when Thibodeau calls on you, you got to be ready. You got to be ready and you got to be available. Okay? So Kolek has been keeping himself ready and he's available. Deuce did the same thing when it was his time. Deuce had to stay ready to play 30 seconds or 30 minutes. In his rookie year, he played a lot of minutes against Houston because of the COVID, if y'all remember. And he performed against Houston that year. He was a rookie and he had to play. Then he got out the rotation when everybody was healthy and he was getting 30 minutes, 1 minute, 30 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. But you got to be ready. Yeah, Deuce going to be all right, though. Deuce got hit in the nuts. Y'all saw the play? I mean, he got hit in the nuts. He wasn't like he was out hanging out late and messing around, and then he got to pull groin the next day. No, Deuce got hit in the nuts. He got hit in the nuts 2-3 games ago. And I was surprised he played the game before that because it was he caught a shot. He caught a good shot in his groin. Okay, so that's a different scenario. And Deuce, let me see, Deuce. This is the thing, look back over Deuce's NBA career, which is all Knicks. He ain't nothing but tough. See, Frank Ntilikina, every chance he got, he was hurt. Every time he got a chance to show he could ball and lock people up, he would lock them up when he played, but then he'd get hurt. He'd play a couple games, groin pull. Walking groin pulls that boy. See? So, but for Kolek, next year, this is the thing, and this is what I'm saying. Let's be reasonable, okay? There are people that are unreasonable, but let's be reasonable, okay? Look, in order for Kolek to play regular minutes, I'm not even talking about, this is what he got to do. This is what the Knicks got to do. Listen carefully. The Knicks got to choose between Kolek and Payne. Did you hear me? The Knicks got to make a choice between Kolek and Cameron Payne. So if the Knicks feel like Kolek is ready, Payne is out. It's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. So what we must understand, and I know everybody wants to jump on the Kolek bandwagon and play him right away, but the Knicks, this is money. We talk about winning the chip. So you can't BS and just say, oh, I love his crossover. Let's watch the crossover. No, he got to be able to ball on the NBA level. Defensively. We know what he could do offensively. That's not the question. Can he stay in front of a guy? Can he stay in front of Darius Garland? Can he? That's what we need. See? And when the Knicks feel he's ready to do that, Payne is out. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's not happening this year. That's not happening this year. See, that's why I'm saying people are pushing it too much. They're going too far. You know, gotta give Kolek. No, you ain't got to give him no minutes when you got Brunson, Deuce, and Payne. You ain't got to give him no minutes. Okay, no, he don't play. Period. And right now, you want Payne. Right now, Payne is a proven playoff performer. That's all I'm saying to you. Okay, Payne is a happy birthday, Michael Trey. Payne is a proven playoff performer. Kolek is the future. Again, we're talking about future versus now. Payne is now. Kolek's the future. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So you can bring, you're going to have a dynamic. When Kolek is ready, yeah, Linsanity Part 2 is part of the delusion. This is what makes people from other fan bases called Knicks Nation delusional. That's delusional. This is not, Linsanity ain't coming back. Just like yesterday was March 22nd, Saturday, 2025. Guess what? It's never coming back. The world keeps spinning forward. And people keep looking back at stuff like Linsanity. That's delusional. That's classic delusional. It's never coming back. Okay? But I can definitely see a guard rotation where you get Brunson, and Kolek with Deuce. The problem again is you want Kolek to play a better brand of defense. The two most important parts of Thibodeau's defense is the point of attack defense and the rim protection, which means the 5 and the point guard. That means you gotta be able to keep people out the paint at the point of attack, and then if they get, you got your rim protector there. Okay, so those are the two biggest things. So for Kolek to be able to play, he's got to at least give me a Brunson-esque type defense at the point of attack. Okay, he's got to at least do that. Like yesterday, Payne, I saw him wave somebody, just wave this kid through. I was like, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to step up. You're supposed to step up right there. He just waved the guy through and went to guard somebody that wasn't getting the ball in the 3-point line. See, that kind of crap right there drives me crazy. But Payne is going to be the guy this year because we're in the mix right now. And Kolek will get his chance come summer league to show how far he's coming. And I'm very confident that Tyler Kolek is going to show out in the summer league. I'm very confident he's going to be able to show that. He has just got to show he's got some defense. That's it. Offensively, we're not even dealing with that. Some of y'all caught up on the offensive side of the basketball. You can't be caught up on that. We're talking about you want to win championships. Get it in your head. You need to play some defense. No defense, no bueno. Period. No defense, no bueno. That's how this game works, man. And you talk about Tom Thibodeau. You better come with some defense. So he ain't got to be Marcus Smart or Deuce McBride on defense, but he does have to be Jalen Brunson on defense. And him bulking up in his shoulders and his arms, that's going to help him a lot because people think they could just push him aside. And they were when Kolek played. But now I like what I'm seeing from him building up his arms and his shoulders the way he's doing it. If he keeps doing that, I'm very encouraged by what we can see next year. Imagine the same team, but you're going to have to replace Payne with Kolek. That's how you're going to do it. Okay. You're not going to keep them both. Okay. You got to replace Payne with Kolek. That's how this is going to work. So when you all think, that the Knicks think that is Kolek's time, it means Payne is out. Because Payne's a journeyman. Okay. You get what you get with him. There's no surprises. Payne is never going to be an all-star. He's never going to be, all NBA. He is what he is. He's a bench piece. So Kolek has got to beat out the bench piece. He's got to do that. Okay. Now Deuce, you can forget he's not going to be playing in front of Deuce because Deuce can play both the 2 and the 1. Tibbs has said many times, Deuce can play the point guard or the 1. And Deuce has been playing point guard for the Knicks. So now that's not going to change. And plus, Deuce can play all NBA level defense, period. So he's going to ball, okay? But Payne could step in there Kolek could step in there on them Payne minutes, and he could get them. But he's got to be able to show he's ready, okay? Not by just y'all liking his crossover or him getting 8 assists. He's got to be able to play some defense. Okay. Now, yesterday, I was impressed with the boys' minutes. I ain't going to front. I was impressed with his minutes because I've seen the development that from the earlier part of this year to yesterday. And some of y'all who talking about Tibbs don't develop nobody, the Knicks don't develop nobody, need to stop smoking that pipe. Because the boy has developed from October to now. And you all ain't seen him develop in a court. Where is he developing? In practice, in the G League, like he's supposed to. See, so that's how you're seeing development. It don't just happen because it just happens by accident. That's guys working behind the scenes really hard to get better. And that's where it shows up right there. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. I like Kolek, but don't expect once you see JB to see any more of him unless somebody else gets hurt. As long as Deuce and Payne especially Deuce and Payne. If Deuce Payne is healthy and JB says you ain't gonna see Tyler Kolek no more, nor should you. But what you did see is a taste of what's to come. And that's really how you want to look at that. The taste of what's to come. You see the court vision. He's got the shot. He knows how to get his angles. He knows how to get to his spots like a pro. That's really good. But what I saw yesterday was defense. He wasn't getting beat like he was before. Okay. He wasn't getting beat like he was before. So, so that, and again, if you've seen, how many of y'all saw an improvement in Tyler Kolek from October to now. How many of you have seen an improvement in Tyler Kolek from last summer to now? See, that don't happen because he grew 3 inches. It happens because he's working hard in practice. It happens because he's getting coached in practice and he's playing in the G League. That's why. That's what the G League is for. It's for that. Okay. So I'm very encouraged by what I saw. I like him for next summer. I like him. I can't wait to see the summer league because Ariel and him and McCullough and Daddier, they're gonna have a year of development, and so it's gonna be good to see. It really is. The Knicks got a really good handle on the development guys for the future. It's really gonna be good. So yeah, and so when it comes down to it, whenever you see a guy like Kolek, what you got to ask yourself is who's out. So many people calling Deuce the one to be out, and I thought that was completely delusional last summer. But it's Payne. Payne is the guy. Okay. And so Payne is the guy. If he is out, Kolek is in. And I can see that's coming. That is definitely coming. But when is the question? It ain't gonna come this season. This season, you're gonna be happy you got the sidewinder Cameron Payne. Because he gonna hit some big shots for you this summer, man. This playoffs. He gonna hit some big shots for you. So it is what it is. But the Don doing his thing as he always is, and we can see they got a good handle on that mess. So Kolek, I like what I'm seeing. I love the development we're seeing from him, and I think it's going to continue. That's really good for the future of the Knicks. Really good for the future of the Knicks. Because JB, he just signed an extension. So after this year, I think the Knicks, is it this year or is it next year? After one of these 2 years, his contract extension kicks in and you got him locked up for another 4 years. So you're talking about 4 years from now. So I can see in 2 years, the Kolek, Deuce, Brunson backcourt. That's going to be a rotation in the backcourt, especially if this kid could get some defense. And I'm pulling for him to get it. You know what I mean? I want to see the boy succeed because he's offensively the gifted talent. There's no doubt about it. But, he's got to play some defense. We can't have him getting beat. He's got to be able to get beat to stay in front of somebody. So Brunson right now, I think his new contract kicks in next year. So starting next year, he's got the 4-year 156. And so 25, 26, he gets the first year of that. He got a player option after 4 seasons. And so that's going to be there. So I can see Kolek definitely. Kolek has a shot to break into that rotation next year. He really does. And he's good enough to do it. We just got to see the development continue. And I'm pulling for him because he is offensively a gifted player. There's no doubt about his passing ability and his shooting ability. He really is gifted on that side. Pettit, you are right. Cat is not a rim protector. And Mitchell Robinson is, which is why I'm expecting. Pettit was saying it seems like Cat plays better when he don't have to worry about rim protection. And I agree. That's why it's better for him to play next to Mitch Rob, especially we're going into these playoff situations. I think he will be playing next to Mitch Rob in the starting unit. And I think the Knicks are going to benefit from that. The question is, now I would feel a lot better if we had Ariel Hooporti ready, which is next year. See, that's why I'm saying watch this team next year. Because if you now have Ariel Hooporti, now you could start Mitch Rob next to Cat, and you got Hooporti right there. That would be something else, man. That would be something else. But that's next year. As of now you got to depend on Achua. And I don't know. I saw something on Twitter, and I'll be honest, half of what I see on Twitter is a bunch of BS, so I ignore it. But is it true that the NBA is investigating Precious? Is that on the gambling side? Have y'all heard about that? I saw that yesterday, and I was like, I hope this is not true. I hope this is not true. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, on X yesterday. And I was like, I hope it was a Friday that they're investigating him because he was betting on his overall under. You think it was a hoax? I hope it's true. I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true. Because like I said, half on X, half of the stuff there, really, I'm not even exaggerating, is complete BS. Yeah, I saw it. Somebody posted, and I hate when they do that. See people put out false information purposely. It's ridiculous, man. I find it to be very disrespectful. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they were trying to say. That he was betting on himself or his whatever, some stupidness, man. Throwing game, something like that. Optimistic. You caught it. You seen it. Yeah. So I hope it's not true. But you got to depend on the reason I brought Precious up is because you got to depend on him coming off your bench behind Mitchell Robinson. And I think that's what Tibbs is doing right now. He's trying to figure out that lineup, trying to figure out that lineup. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Margaret. It was, I'd hate to see that. I hope it's garbage. I really hope it's garbage. I hope it's garbage. So we'll see. But we're depending on Precious. If Mitch Rob starts at the 5, we're depending on Precious to back up Mitch Rob and Cat. Cat and Mitch Rob and Precious will be interchanging at the 5 with Mitch Rob getting the start. So we got to see how that works. Hey, what's up, Wolfwell Flower? What's up, man? Yeah. What was I saying? So yeah. JB, I didn't know. I'm gonna tell you. This is raw Hebrew telling you. I didn't get this from nobody. I didn't hear nothing from nobody. I got no official information. Okay, I want to say that up front. But I'm gonna tell you this. I expect Jalen Brunson back against Philly on April 1st. I'm gonna just tell you that. I'm gonna just say that. I'm putting that out there. I'm expecting Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, Jalen Brunson to start against Philadelphia 76ers. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna say that. And the reason I'm saying that, why was my reasoning? First of all, we're talking about Jalen Brunson. Okay. Jalen Brunson probably wants to play right now. Right? I mean, from what we understand about our boy JB, he probably wants to play right now. He probably is not nice. He's probably not fully recovered and he wants to play, right? That's him though, right? It's him and Josh Hart. That's that same Villanova clause. He wants to play, but he's still hurt. So and did you see? I saw Tibbs say they're gonna give an update at the end of this week. Did y'all see that? I did say that. Ian Begley said they're expecting an update on him by the end of this week. That he's out of his walking boot and he is taking light contact. That's what I did. Y'all read that? I read that. Was on Ian Begley. Let me just look at this. I'm looking at Ian Begley's thing here. This is from yesterday. It says Knicks say Jalen Brunson sprained right ankle is doing controlled court work. Status will be updated in approximately 1 week. So I'm thinking at the end of this week, they're going to update his status. I'm expecting him to start 1 week from Tuesday, April 1st against the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm expecting him to do that. Because he's chomping at the bit to play now. I know he is. So he probably will play that. Yeah, so he's been banged up. He gets banged up all over the place, man. But he wants to play. He's a warrior, man. One thing you got to say about JB, he's a warrior, man. He wants to come out and play. He will never sit unless you force him to sit because of an injury. When you saw him get up from that last injury against Golden State, he was really hurt, man. But we've seen him come back and play the same game. Remember the couple of times he went in the locker room, he limps out and he comes back. Man. So for him not to come back, he was really hurt. That was a bad ankle sprain. But you give him a couple of days and you probably tell him wrap it up and he's ready to ball. So I'm expect him to be back Tuesday. And we're not. It's not okay if we fall to the 4th seed. I don't want to even hear that. I'm not even trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. Oh, nice. I'm not trying to hear that. 3rd seed. We're going to beat the 3rd seed, period. And I'd like Deuce to come back healthy Tuesday because if Deuce is back 100%, we could beat Dallas and try to get some distance. We got 3 games up right now on, I want to say it's Indiana or the Bucks. One of them in the 3rd seed, 4th seed. We got 3 games up on them right now. Let me see here. We got 3 games up on Indiana. They are the 4th seed. We got 4 games up on Milwaukee right now. Indiana plays against Minnesota in Indiana. I want to say that's Tuesday night. They play against Minnesota in Indiana, and of course, I'm pulling for Juju and them to beat Halliburton in them ass. Let me see. Yeah, it's no, they play tomorrow night, and they're playing at home. Indiana plays tomorrow night at home, yeah, against Minnesota. I would like Minnesota to, I'm pulling for Dante and them to beat Indiana because that puts more distance between the Knicks and Indiana, and it helps Minnesota pull even with the 6th seed with Golden State. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that's what we want. I want to see that. So hopefully the minute Juju and them been playing good though. I mean, they 8-2 in their last. Juju and them is 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've been playing ball since Julius Randle returned from injury. They've been balling, man. This cat's been balling. They really have, and so they're 8-2 in their last 10, and they're right now a half game behind Golden State for the 6th seed right now. So I'd like them to beat Indiana. That helps us and helps them. Yeah. I do like that Hart called out Cat on the ref warning, the referee baiting. It was Cat he was talking about when he talking about we complain about the referees too much. He's talking about Cat. Cat, and you remember like Brunson and on their roommate show, they were showing Cat every time he goes to the basket, how he yells, "Oh my God!" He's always yelling at the refs. So I know, but Josh admitted though. Josh said, "I got to stop running at the refs so much." He did say that. So at least he recognizes that it's a problem, and I'm glad he called it out. I'm glad he called it out. So. So I'm glad he called it out. So hopefully they need to get that under control before the playoffs. We want to come in these playoffs ready to go. But so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. He did it. So I'm glad he said it. So hopefully Cat caught the memo. He wasn't yelling as much last night as he normally does. He did stoop, but not as much. I thought. Yeah. So here we go, man. So we got the next 4 of the next 5 games are right, exactly. 4 of the next 5. Oh my God. He act like he died every time he go to bed. But 4 of the next 5 games at home. We do have to go to Milwaukee. 3 games from now. This is 4 games and 5 nights week again, I believe it is for the Knicks. Another tough week. They play, let's see, they got Dallas Tuesday. Let's look at it. They got Dallas on Tuesday. They got the Clippers Wednesday. That's a back-to-back at home. Friday, they go to Milwaukee. And then, so it's 3 games this week. And then Sunday, they back home against Portland. So we got a 3-game week this week, which is not too bad. And they got a back-to-back. One, it's at home, though. Back-to-back's at home. So hopefully we'll be all right. JB reasons with the referees. He goes and talks to them privately. I like how he does it. He reasons with them, and then he'll just look at them, and they'll know what he's thinking. John, I never doubted that James Dolan cares very much about the New York Knicks. It's only media and fans that doubted that. I never doubted. I've been tooting James Dolan's horn for a minute now. I've been tooting it for a minute now. I was never with people telling him to sell the team. I just wanted him to back off and let somebody that knows basketball run it. And he even said that himself on the Roommates podcast. I needed to back off and let somebody run it. And he tried to do it with Phil Jackson. Didn't work. But he did it with the Don, and it has worked. And so, I admire James Dolan, and I like what he's done with this team, and he should get credit for how much the culture has turned around. He hired Leon Rose. Okay. Don't listen to media that wants to down the Knicks because of Dolan. Don't do that. Dolan shouldn't be getting no hate. The only people, like I said, the only people that show hate to him is mad because he kicked the Daily News out the locker room back in the 90s. He told them you can't come in here, and they got all upset. It was either Daily News or Newsday. It was one of them, and he was mad, and he should have been. You can't come in here, and they was mad, man. And then the whole media turned on him at that point. So forget them. Forget the media. We own the Knicks. James Dolan's the owner of the New York Knicks. We got the Knicks back. We Knicks fans, right? So forget James Dolan. Mitch Robb. What's up, Craig? Mitch Robb now. He's on and off. He's up and down, right? Yeah, Frank Assola. Yeah, him. Frank Assola. What was he? Was he Daily News or Newsday? I can't remember. He was one of them. Frank Assola. That's him. Yeah. Anyway, Mitch Robb, he's coming along. Okay, he's coming along. He's going to be all right for the playoffs. He's coming with what we expect, and he's bringing what we expect, and he's continuing to do that. So one of the heroes of this season is OG Anunoby, right? OG has played how many games? He has not missed a lot of games this year, right? OG has not missed a lot of games this year. The Knicks have played 70 games. How many he played? I bet you he played at least 65. Let me see. OG played 64 games. Okay, so out of 70 games, he's missed 6. That's very good. That's very good. You want that out of your $200 million guy, your $200 million lockdown wing stop dude. You want that. See, so he's got to be, that's right, Jay Spring. He got to be a Clint Stewart. He got to be first team All NBA defense. He's got to be. There's no doubt. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing else. He's got to be first team All NBA defense. OG Anunoby, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay. No, James Cooper, I don't agree with you. Oakley was a dumbass, and he deserved to get what Dolan gave him. Period. Oakley was a dumbass. And they tried to sit down with his dumbass, and he wouldn't take it. He was jealous of Patrick Ewing when they played. Y'all need to cut out with that, man. How he treated Oakley. Listen, James Dolan got Latrell Sprewell, Marcus Camby, Larry Johnson. He got John Starks. He got all of these cats. Who else? Allen Houston. He got all these boys on the payroll. What else? He don't like Oakley's deodorant? No, Oakley's a dumbass. It's Oakley's fault. It's Oakley's fault. Oakley's a dumbass. He need to come off his high horse and quit playing. Shoot. It ain't Dolan's fault. Stop tripping. Dolan doing right by the Knicks. By all of them, Negro. He doing right by all of them. Like I said, man, Tree was cursing them out. Went broke. Dolan hires him. Yeah, Oakley he didn't like the way he said Patrick Ewing was a prima donna. He didn't like how they catered to him. He didn't like how Van Gundy catered to him. He had a problem with that. And he came in there. If you was there, if you saw that night, he was drunk as hell. And he was acting a fool. And they told him to leave. He should have just left. He should have just left. He was drunk as hell that night. Acting a fool. And then they tried to quietly sit him down with Dolan. He wouldn't come. Man, get out of here. Get out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Get out of here, man. Keep your nose out of MJ's behind. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying. You see, this is the proof. If James Dolan was unfair to Oakley, you would expect he'd be unfair to other players. But no. Patrick Ewing's back with the Knicks. Marcus Camby. Larry Johnson. Latrell Sprewell. Allen Houston. All these cats are there. So what is it? Just Oakley? Oh, you don't like him because of how he treated Oakley? The hell out of here, man. The hell out of here. He don't owe Oakley nothing. Oakley got his paycheck. Right? Got his guaranteed money, right? Oakley better, put his pride away. John Stark. Oakley was playing his cards right. He'd be sitting in the front row with all the other cats. But he don't. It's Oakley's fault. This ain't James Dolan's fault. And it no longer should be James Dolan's problem. And let me tell you something else. If Oakley was to humble himself and come back and say, you know what, let's squash this beef. It gets squashed. It gets squashed. If he was to come back and say, let's squash this beef. It would get squashed. Okay, but he ain't doing that. Please, man, please, man, please. Ewing's always gonna be a Knick hero. He put it all on the line. He played ball. It was the Knicks' fault they didn't get a running mate for him that was worthy of him. You know, if they Magic end up had Kareem and they got James Worthy, right? Jordan got Scottie Pippen, and then they had all them cats around him with, that they went and got Cartwright. What the Knicks get? They never got nothing for him. If you'd have had him with a Bernard King type dude, we'd have had a ring. If you'd have had Bernard King with him, but Bernard got hurt, well, you need to go get somebody else. Then you have money. Yeah, man, please. Yeah, anyway. You had Patrick Ewing, one of the greatest centers, top 50 on the top 75 squad, top 50 squad. You had Ewing, okay? You should have won championships with him. It wasn't Ewing's fault that the Knicks didn't put around him what he needed to get this thing done. That's what I'm saying. You got Leon Rose now. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about Leon Rose. We've seen some dumbasses in the Knicks front office. We've seen some dumbasses. How many years did Ewing play? I think he was drafted in 85, right? I think he came to the Knicks in 85. I think it was 85. And he lasted until what, 05? Something like that. So he played more than 15 years for the Knicks. Why couldn't in all that time they couldn't get somebody in there? I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm not trying to hear that. They should have got somebody in there. They should have spent all kind of money, gave away draft pick, get somebody with Patrick Ewing. They could have won some chips. They had multiple chances to get multiple players. They could have got a lot of guys. The Knicks really could have, but they didn't. Okay, they didn't. They had chances to get a lot of guys, but they just didn't do it. So that's all I'm saying. So what we got right now, we got a Don in the sanctum, that running game, man. He know what he's doing. He's putting it down right now. He knows what he's doing. This team you're watching, yesterday, the leading scorer was one Mikal Bridges yesterday. That's all I'm telling you, man. We had Mikal, OG, JB, and Cat in the same season drop 40 in the same season, right? You got 4 of your 5 starters in the same season drop 40. If I'm not mistaken, has Hart had a 20 rebound game this year? Has he? I think Josh Hart had a 20 rebound game this year? I think he has. I think he's had a 20 rebound game this year, right? So yeah, I think he has. So if he's had, so now you've had 4 guys in your starting lineup drop 40. And you have one guy who didn't drop 40, but had a 20 rebound game at 6'4". And he's not even supposed to be a starter. Josh Hart is not a natural starter. Josh Hart's a natural bench piece. Okay? He's not even supposed to be a starter. You have not had your rim protecting 5 for more than 3/4 of your season, and you're still third in the East. That's what it kills me when people talk about the Knicks suck or the Knicks are this. I'm like, what the hell? What are you watching? I don't know. But here, you have not had Mitchell Robinson all year. And you're still third in the East. You just got Cat a month before the season started. And you're still third in the East. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what people are looking at. I don't know what they're expecting. I think people are expecting like perfection from the Knicks. They expect perfection from Tom Thibodeau. And if Tom Thibodeau is not perfect, they're ready to piss and crap all over him. I think it's really sad. It's really stupid, really. It's really stupid to me. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all think I'm too mean on people. Well, you know what? You got to hear some of the crap I've been listening to with some of these idiots out here. I mean, my God, man. No, seriously, like what? Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Shoot. I mean, what the hell? So The Knicks now have. I'm pulling up the stats. Yeah. So on March the 7th against the Clippers, Josh Hart had 20 rebounds. On January 25th against the Sacramento Kings, he had 18 rebounds. On January 15th against Philadelphia, he had 17 boards. On what else we talking? On February 26th against Philly, he had 17 boards. 6'4". 6'4". And that's right. We didn't have pressure for 21 games. Yeah. It's gonna be. All I'm saying is, we did real good, y'all. We got something here. Don't screw up what you got. You got something here. Stop whining about something you got that's good. You got something good here. You got something real good here. Okay, so we keep what you got. Stop tripping. We doing real good. See, so next year, let's assume this. Let's assume we go into training camp with a completely healthy team, right? So Mitchell Robinson is there. Brunson is there. We go into training camp completely healthy. And I'm going to tell you right now, if we could get Precious re-signed, that'd be great. But if we don't, I'd love to get that boy down there in Oklahoma City. They're going to have to pay him. Somebody's going to pay him. Jay Will. Somebody's going to pay him. He'd be perfect. We're not going to get the beef stew, so I ain't worried about that. But I would like the beef stew, but we ain't getting him. But if we can get Precious, we got a healthy team coming back. Let's assume for the sake of argument. Listen to me now, that Tyler Kolek can play at least Jalen Brunson level defense by the end of next summer, right? That Tyler Kolek is ready to play in an NBA rotation by the end of next summer, right? Okay. So what this team going to look like then? You come back with that same squad. You got Tyler Kolek playing minutes. You probably won't have Cameron Payne, but you're going to have Tyler Kolek. KC going to have some decisions to make. That's what I'm saying. OKC got some decisions to make. Yes, somebody's going to pay Jay Will, but the way the NBA is set up right now is very difficult for a team to keep a team together long term. So what they did now, they're paying Isaiah Hartenstein $90 million. They're paying Dort. Dort is coming at the end of his deal in 2 years. You're paying him 16 and a half and 17 million. You got, of course, SGA. He's the max dude. You got him for 40 million a year, somewhere in that vicinity. You're also paying Alex Caruso. You're paying him money. So you're going to have to pay J-Dub. J-Dub is the next one. You got to pay J-Dub. And y'all know J-Dub is getting his money. J-Dub has got to get at least 150. What y'all think? J-Dub has got to get. J-Dub is damn near. I think he was an all. Matter of fact, I think he was an all-star this year. So he's got to get there's a minimum that he got to get. It's going to be at least 150. So J-Dub is at least getting 150. So you got to pay him. Somebody's not getting paid. They're only paying J-Dub $4 million right now. They're only paying him $4 million. That's one of the biggest steals in the league. They're paying him $4 million. They got it. He's extension eligible this summer. Then you got J Will, J-Dub. Damn, they got a team, man. They got too many good guys. Shoot. You got Kendrick Williams is extension eligible. Okay, you're paying Al Cruz. Aaron Wiggins, you still got him on a rookie deal, so you got him locked in. Then you got Chet Holmgren. What they gonna do? They gotta pay Chet Holmgren, right? Now, this is the thing. If it's a sign and trade, I don't know. It'll be tough, John Petty say, how can we afford him? That's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how they would do it. That's why we got, what's the boy we got? The capologist? That's what we got him for. That's why we got the capologist. You got to figure this out. Because I'm thinking Jay Will is probably worth. I'm thinking Jay Will is worth your mid-level exception. I'm thinking that. So somebody's going to get that mid-level exception. Brock, right? Somebody's going to get the mid-level. I'm not sure who it is. No, you don't. You don't even think about getting rid of Mitch or Hart. No, they're not expendable. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Not a little bit. No, not. No, not. Nah. Nah. No. Yeah, Brock out. Right. So, but somebody, the Knicks can get them if they can get the mid-level exception, the full mid-level. They got to give that to somebody, right? They're gonna give somebody that full mid-level exception, right? So if they can get that, they can get somebody because I think J Dub is about mid-level, full mid-level exception, dude. I'm thinking J Dub is. Yeah, but don't they get? Isn't there an increase in the? Isn't there going to be an increase in the cap this year? Let me just look. I think there's an increase in the cap this year. Let me just see here. I want to say the cap is going to increase. Let me see here. 25-26. Let's see. The cap goes up to $184 million, 25-26. That's the first apron, 184. The second apron goes up to 195. No, I'm wrong. The first apron's 196 and the second apron's 208. So the first apron's 196 and the second apron's 208. That's what I'm looking at on Spot Rack. So, okay. So let's take a look at our New York Knicks. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Okay, so for the New York Knicks, right now, the Knicks are dealing with, right now, they're 188. So the first apron goes up to 196. Then 190, they're at 188. It goes at 196. The second apron is 207. So they got a little room, man. 196 and 207, right? So you're talking about 19 million. They can probably, and they're going to lose Cat 6. You're talking about 19 million. I think they can get something done. What y'all think? I mean, we're talking about 19 million before they go over the second apron. They're not going over the second apron. So I think we're talking about 19 million. I think they can afford, somebody could get the mid-level. Somebody can get the mid-level. I'm thinking 12 million. I'm thinking J Dub is a $12 million a year mid-level guy. That's what I'm thinking. I think so. What y'all think? I think J Dub is a $12 million a year mid-level guy. That's what I'm thinking. And so maybe they can get that done. Maybe they can get that done. We'll see. Well, the problem with Herb Jones, optimistic Giants fan, is he's a wing, and we got two wings that ain't going nowhere. And so do you want to pay Herb Jones? And you still got Josh Hart, who ain't going nowhere. So where are you going to play? Where are you going to pay? Where's Herb Jones going to play? That's what I'm saying. Where's Herb Jones going to play? He's not going to play. You got Josh Hart, OG, and you got McCall. You can't afford another guy like that. Yeah, so I don't think so. But I can see where Jay Will would play because Jay Will would back up the 5 or the 4. See, you got to also figure where these guys getting their minutes at. Herb Jones wasn't getting no minutes. Somebody would be out. And you ain't sitting McCall, you ain't sitting OG, and you damn sure ain't sitting Josh Hart. So I'm not sure. Yeah, but see, you can't do that. You can't pay a guy $14 million just to fill in for injuries. That they don't do that. He's got to have a role. He's got to have a set role, and he don't have one in the Knicks. He won't have a set role. As much as I love that kid. I like the way he plays ball, but there's no set role for him on the Knicks. Jay Will got a set role. He would be Precious. See. If Precious is out, you could get Jay Will, but no, they can't get DiVincenzo back. Again, you're not making no sense. Where's DiVincenzo going to play? McCall Bridges starts at the 2, so DiVincenzo was already coming off the bench before they even got the trade done. You got Josh Hart going to be on the bench once Mitch Robb starts. You still got Deuce. Where's he going to play? Some of you guys are just ridiculous. You can't have your cake and eat it too. A guy's got to have a set role. You got to have a set role. Part of having the bench in the NBA is you got to have guys getting $2 million a year that playing really well, like Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, so look at Oklahoma City. Look at their bench. Jay Will's getting $2 million. He's getting $2 million. You need to have a guy that's getting $2 million that's performing like that. Where are you going to get that from? You can't pay a guy $14 million. So now this is going to be your bench, right? So you're going to have Mitch Robb starting. You're going to have Hart on your bench with Precious and Deuce. So right now, let's look at the Oklahoma City bench. Alex Caruso is making $10 million. Kendrick Williams is making $7 million. Carson Wallace is making $6 million. Okay. Then you got AJ Mitchell's making $3 million. Jalen Williams is making $2 million. See, you can't pay all of these people, man. You can't. That's just the way the league is built. Okay. You can't pay all these people. So you're going to have to, if you're going to have, and again, this goes back to our Tyler Kolek discussion. If you're going to have Tyler Kolek play regular minutes next year, that means Cameron Payne is out. Cameron Payne's not a guy that's going to sit around and wait. Nor should he be. He's out. He's going to go get that same role he's playing now for somebody else. Okay? So you can't just say, well, let's go get this guy. Well, who's leaving? Okay? Shamrock can play just what he's playing now. He can not play. He was getting a lot of DMPs. He can get a lot of DMPs next year and then fill in if we need it. But you ain't going to get no Dante DiVincenzo and have him just sit around. He got a ball. He got to play. Okay? Where is he going to play, though? There's no room for him. That's why that's why Minnesota got him. And if I'm Minnesota, I'm not letting him go nowhere. If I'm Minnesota. Yeah, I'm not letting him go nowhere. Yeah, if I'm Minnesota, I'm keeping Dante DiVincenzo. And y'all remember, that's the only reason they did the deal. The only reason they did the deal is because Dante was involved. If you think they're letting him walk, you all crazy. They're not. He's going to get his money from Minnesota. And he's on the verge of starting anyway. So he's going to get his money. Yeah, you can't have 15 guys getting max money and think you and get some of them ain't even playing. You got to have a role for a guy. What's their role? Right now, Deuce's role is to back up Jalen Brunson. He backs up McCall at the 2. Josh Hart's role is to back up the 2, the 3, or the 4. That's their role. So if you bring in somebody else in, somebody's going to have a reduced role or no role. You can't just name guys and think you want them on the roster. Guys want to play, okay? And they want to get paid too, as they should. But you can't just say, well, let's go get Dante back. It doesn't work like that. That's fantasy, okay? It doesn't work like that. See, he's not coming back. Forget it. He might come back in a couple of years. But right now, this year, next year, no, forget it, okay? And if I'm Minnesota, like I said, I'm locking that brother up. He ain't going nowhere. I'm locking him up. Yeah. New York State of Mind. I'm not acting like players don't get traded and come back. But the players you're talking about, Dante DiVincenzo, is delusional. It's not happening. That's what I'm saying. That's not happening. Okay? It's not that there's no precedent for it. It's that you're trying to make a precedent out of something that doesn't exist. It's not happening. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay? It's not happening. That's not going to happen. All right? And you can't go get Herb Jones because you like him. Don't work like that. He's got to have a role. He's got to be someplace he's going to play. He's got to have a set role that he's going to play. Where is he going to play? In front of who? That's all I'm saying. And no, he's not playing in front of Hart. He's not playing in front of McKell. He's not playing in front of OG. It's not going to happen. Okay? Some of these guys are really trying to create something. Do you know people that don't play and getting paid get disgruntled? Sometimes they just don't want to stick around because they're not playing. Herb Jones got a set role on the Pelicans. Set role. He's going to get his minutes. Okay? He's healthy. He's going to play. But you can't just bring him to the Knicks and think they're going to play. You know what I'm saying? So it don't work like that. It don't work like that. So anyway, Dante DiVincenzo ain't coming back. He ain't walking through that door. Herb Jones ain't walking through that door. He ain't walking through that door. But you might be able to get Jay Will if Precious goes, because that's the role Jay will play. Precious's role. If Precious doesn't come back and you get your full mid-level exception, you could get Jay Will because his value is about the full mid-level. Okay. The clinch, you mean a playoff spot? No, the Knicks have already clinched the postseason spot. They're already clinched as far as I'm looking at the standing. They got them as clinching the postseason. As far as a playoff role, I don't know. They're going to clinch. It's going to happen. I don't know. But right now, they've clinched the postseason. But, Celtics have clinched the playoff spot. Cleveland has clinched the playoff spot. I'm sure the Knicks, when they approach 50 games, will clinch the playoff spot. They'll get it. The playoffs and the NBA is the playoffs. Everybody's got their hands full. The parity in the league is very high. But if the Knicks have to play the Pistons in the first round, they will beat the Pistons in the first round. This ain't one and done, right? Like in NC2A. This is the league. You got to beat somebody in the case of best of 7. And the better team is generally going to win in the best of 7. And the Knicks are the better team. Not that Detroit sucks. The Knicks are better. And they will show that in the playoffs. Very confident about that. Yeah, very confident about that. So I'm not worried about Detroit or Milwaukee or Indiana. Whoever we got to play, we going ball. Okay? Whoever we got to play, they going ball. Okay, so that's what it is. Yeah, but see, HRM great. If you really think that there's any shot that right now at this stage of his career, the Knicks are going to let go of Josh Hart, you're on drugs. No. It's not going to happen. So I don't care who you name or what stop looking at NBA 2K and looking at all the freaking fake trades on X. Not going to happen. So Josh Hart is here to stay. So let's forget about that. Okay. Hey, JD Thunder, what's up? Yeah. So no, they're not going to trade him because, some knucklehead on X said, oh, this is not going to work. We have to move Mitch Robinson. We have to move Josh Hart. Yeah, I know Haslam. Yeah, I'm picking Detroit. Yeah, well, I don't know. Let me ask you, Guilford, is Haslam a coach in the league? Is Haslam a scout? Has Haslam ever run a team? Is Haslam a front office guy? I don't know. Is he? Yeah, so I don't know. I have a hard time when guys, think that somebody knows what the hell they talking about when they really don't. I know. HRM, you said something correct. Haslam mad because we beat the Heat's ass. That's why he mad, because we beat their ass. When are you going to get guys, like that are objective? When they're going to get analysts that used to play in the league that are objective? Richard Jefferson is just learning how to be objective. This is the first time I've heard him be objective about the Knicks. This is the first time. He has such Knicks hate from his experience in New York and from his experience with the Nets. It was ridiculous. This year he's trying. And then Reggie Miller, we all know the history of the Knicks with Reggie Miller, and he was letting that shine through, And now he's starting to get a little objective, a little. But they're going, Haslam gets on there, ass hurt because the Knicks put foot in Heat behind. And he mad because they lost a 19-point lead to the Knicks. Right? Isn't that right? The Knicks came from 19 down to beat Miami. Hell yeah, they did. In Miami. Didn't we? Didn't they do that? So that's what I'm saying. Who are y'all that are out here talking negative about Tibbs and the Knicks? I don't know. But the Knicks came from 19 down. Beat Miami in Miami, which is also called MSG South. Yes, they did. Yes, they did, baby. We did it. Y'all don't remember that? That's what Haslam was ass hurt about. He didn't like that. So he picking Detroit to beat the Knicks. Don't buy into it, man. Don't buy into sour grapes. Haslam has been. Oh, shoot, Haslam has been. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't want to hear nothing about Haslam has been, man, down there in Wade County. That's all I'm saying. No, we good. We good. We good. Detroit. Now, I'm not laughing at Detroit. Detroit's a serious team. I told y'all beginning of the year, watch Detroit. I've been on Detroit's tip. I've been telling you about Detroit. But in the first round against us, I'm not worried about Detroit. I'm not worried about Detroit. Now, next year, hey, it could be tougher. But this year, with JB healthy, with Mitch Rob healthy, I think we'd be all right. That's right. Udonis ass slump. Yeah, ass right. Udonis has been. Oh, man. Yeah, Paul Pierce. Draymond Green, dirtiest player this side of Lambeer. I don't want to hear what none of them got to say about the Knicks. I don't want to hear nothing from them. We good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm expecting the cap to be back April 1st. And let's get this done, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like Detroit. I like Detroit. I like Kate. I knew Kate was that dude coming out of Oklahoma State. I've been saying that. They coming, okay? And they're here. They're here now. But I'm not worried about them in the first round this year. No. Yeah, Embiid, man. I told y'all in January, trade that boy. Trade him. Trade him in PG-13 as fast as you can. Trade them. I think they both get traded this summer. What y'all think? I think Embiid and Paul George get traded this summer. If any takers, there's a sucker born every minute. Somebody will take them. The Knicks won't have nothing. And how much you want to bet there's going to be Knicks platforms talking about we should go get both of them? How much you want to bet? They're going to be Knicks platform. We need to go get PG-13. Embiid's available. We need to go. Maybe we should trade Mitchell Robinson and Cat to go get Embiid. I can hear it now. Some of y'all really are problem children. Problem children, man. Haslam got a podcast? Look, y'all. I like what's that boy? Jeff, what's his name? He used to play for Atlanta. Jeff, what's the boy name, man? He liked Tibbs too. What's that boy name? I like his podcast. Him with Zebo, him and Tony Allen. What's that boy podcast? Zebo, Tony Allen, and what's the boy name? T. Thank you, Miss Edwards. Jeff T. I like their podcast. Their podcast is real. I like their podcast, man. I like that. To me, the two best podcasts is theirs and the Roommates one with JB and Hart. Those are the best ones, man. Yeah, out the mud. Right. That's it. Teague, Zebo, and my man Tony Allen. Especially Tony Allen and Zebo, some of my favorite players ever. I was mad when the Knicks traded Zebo. They traded Zebo. I was like, damn, what you get rid of Zebo for? That's the one dude that gets boards in defense. Then, of course, Tony Allen been all-NBA defense many times. Tony Allen is tough, boy. My type of dudes. That's what I like. Roughnecks, my type of dudes. I like them roughnecks. My type of dudes, man. So I like that. And then Hart and JB, they be putting it out there too. They be putting it out, man. I'm saying we fortunate in New York. We got the best. We get the best. We got the best. We got the best front office. We got the best coaching staff. We got the best. We got the best podcast. We the best. That's why people don't like New York, because they jealous. Because we the best. That's why. We the best. That's why. So listen, man. Yeah. You remember that John Petty? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Trying to tell y'all. You're going to see it this summer. You're going to see it. Yeah, I like when Teague is on there with Zebo and Tony Allen. They be bringing it, man. I like them cats. They be bringing it, man. And he was on there with Tony Allen and Zebo. I was like, these cats should stay, man. Yeah, they doing some business. Man. I like how they do their stuff, man. I thought I was disappointed in Rashid. I thought Rashid with Kevin Garnett was going to be a little better than it was, but I was disappointed with them, and I'm disappointed with the what's the light skinned boy that who wife went with his ex went with with Fisher. What's that boy name? I forgot. I was a little disappointed in theirs too. I thought theirs were going to be better than it was. I ain't like theirs either. What's that boy name? Matt something. Matt something, man. He lost his babe to Derek Fisher. He lost his ex to Derek Fisher. Yeah, Teague does tell some. You know what? Matt Barnes, right? Teague does tell some good stories. I like the way Teague break it down. But Matt Barnes, man, I don't know. I'm disappointed in Matt Barnes and him and man. But Teague, Zebo, and Tony Allen, I'm all in on. I like that one, man. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. Zebo, I like Zebo and Allen, man. I like them too, man. Them be bringing it for real. He got a little flavor, man. Like there was a boxer, James Lights Out Tony. James Tony. Zebo and them got that same kind of vibe that James Tony. If you listen to James Tony, it's kind of similar. One of my favorite boxers of all time, man. James Lights Out Tony. He used to be a middleweight. When he was a middleweight, he was a bad man. He was bad man light heavy too. He just let himself get out of shape. But yeah. Yeah, James Lights Out Tony was a bad man, man. I loved the way he stand right in front of somebody. You can't even hit him. That's my boy right there. James Lights Out. Yeah, James Lights Out Tony, man. But anyway, tomorrow, Minnesota plays Indiana in Indiana. I'm looking for, if you want to help the Knicks, Minnesota needs to win that game. Minnesota needs to win. Yeah, rest in peace, Big George. Yes, rest in peace, George Foreman, one of the greatest boxers ever. He fought defensively like Jack Johnson. If you saw a film of Jack Johnson, that's how George Foreman used to fight defensively like Jack Johnson. He was really much more brilliant than they gave him credit for. Oh, that's tough. It's hard for me to answer questions like that. He said, where do I rank George Foreman? It's hard to answer questions like that. There have been so many great fighters. My always preference have been great fighters along the Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad, defensive fighters. I like defensive fighters that can hit and not get hit. That's what I like. I like defensive fighters that can hit and not get hit. George Foreman was underrated to me defensively as a defensive fighter. He was underrated. Everybody focused on his power, which is one of the most powerful fighters ever. To me, him, Sonny Liston, Ernie Shavers, some of the hardest punches you ever seen, these guys. But I think he was underrated defensively. I think he was a much better defensive fighter than people give him credit for. But I like defensive guys. That's why I like James Toney. I love Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker. Yep, Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather. Archie Moore, when he was in his prime, I like watching him. Pernell Whitaker was that dude, a defensive dude that could hit you. I love Mayweather. To me, a dude that can fight at his level in his late 30s and into his 40s, that's a great fighter, man. And never got beat. That's a great fighter and fought all the best dudes. He fought all the best dudes and never got beat, man. So yeah, Pernell, James Toney. I like Jones, my man Jones, when he was in his prime. Jones was rough too. Yeah. Ken Norton, but Ken Norton was a good defensive fighter, really good defensive fighter. But I don't know. I like Norton too, but he beat Ali. That's what made me not like him. He legit beat Muhammad Ali. Broke his jaw. Legit beat Muhammad Ali. So, yeah. I like Mike Tyson. To me, Mike Tyson also, when he was under Cuss and the other guy, I forgot the guy's name. When he was under the tutelage of those guys, he was a great defensive fighter. But when he started letting the women get to him, when his first mistake was marrying Robin Givens. That was the first mistake he made. After that, it was kind of tough for him. He shouldn't have married Robin Givens. That was the equivalent of hooking up with a Kardashian. It was the curse of death, man. That's the equivalent of hooking up with a Kardashian. He shouldn't have messed with Robin Givens because that was never going to be his. It was just going to be his turn. There's a difference between what's yours and what's your turn. You understand? There's a difference. Robin Givens was just his turn. But defensively, in his early part of his career, that boy was rough, man. Not just in terms of punching power, obviously, but defensively, he was a great defensive fighter. He really was there at some point. But Pernell Whitaker, Lights Out Tony. Yeah, those cats, man. Floyd Mayweather Jr., those cats. I love to watch defensive fighters like that. Really good defensive fighters, man. Really good. So, yeah. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, the Knicks play Tuesday at home against Dallas. Another game to get right. Hopefully, Deuce is ready to ball, and hopefully he would be. What's that? There's another cat that's straight Philly, street level, come right out of jail. Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins is another one of the dudes I like. B Hop, man. B Hop. Defensive fighter. B Hop. B Hop, man. Defensive fighter. Defensive fighter. Another guy. Couldn't hit him. He stand right in front of you. Couldn't hit him. Couldn't hit him. Yeah, couldn't hit him. So that B Hop. Another cat. Always in shape. Bernard Hopkins. I like B Hop. Yeah, I like B Hop. I don't think he was no executioner though, but he was a defensive fighter for real. B Hop, man. Yeah, that's my man right there. Straight out of Philly, jailhouse style. He almost fought like 52 blocks. He almost had that 52 blocks. Straight out of Philly. Straight out of jail in Philly. B Hop. My man. Bernard Hopkins. Hats off. B Hop. Who told you that, Richard Williams? Where you heard that from? Did you hear that from NBA Central? If you can, don't follow crackheads. Where you heard that? Don't be coming in here talking about Deuces out for a few games. Where you heard that? Shoot, where you heard that at? I got to see that. I'm going to see that because I ain't seen that. I'm looking. Oh, CP the franchise. No comment. I ain't got no comment. CP the franchise said that. CP the franchise said that. Right? That's where y'all heard it from. It's CP the franchise. It wasn't Ian Begley. Right? Okay. No comment. No comment. No comment. I hope he ain't pull nothing. Let's put it that way. I hope Deuce ain't pull no muscles in there. No comment. But I hope he's ready to play Tuesday. Yeah, no comment. I hope he's ready to play Tuesday. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't say nothing, Gilbert. I said no comment. And I hope Deuce is ready to play Tuesday. Yeah, I ain't heard from Shams on it though. No, the only one that I saw with a comment on that on Deuce was CP the franchise. That's all I heard. I'm looking to see. Hey, I don't see nothing from. I see Sham talking about Kev getting signed for the rest of the season. Nah, I ain't say that, Lonnie. I ain't say that. I ain't say that. I don't want no drama. I don't want no drama. Just call me no drama Obama. No drama. Yeah, no drama. No drama. No drama. Yeah, that's right, Gilbert. That's all. No drama. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No drama. No drama. Let's see if Deuce could be ready to play on Tuesday. He got 3 days rest. Let's get that groin right. Yeah. Oh, Joe Louis for sure, man. Joe Louis for sure. There's back in that time, Joe Louis, Jersey Joe Walcott, Hammer Henry, all them cats was bad dudes, man. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, all them bad dudes, man. Of course, but Sugar Ray Robinson. Yeah, well, man. Dang. Yeah. And there was another dude, he used to dance a lot, defensive fighter. He used to dance a lot, go a whole round dance and never get hit. I forgot his name. He was from Connecticut. I forgot his name. But yeah, a lot of dudes like that. He was like a lightweight, maybe a welterweight, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Deuce is it was a white dude from Connecticut. He's like a lightweight. Maybe he might have been either a featherweight, a lightweight, or a welter. I forgot. He was one of those lighter weights. what was that guy's name? He could box, man. He could dance and box. I forgot his name. White dude I think he's from Hartford, Connecticut. Forgot his name though. Forgot his name. Back in the day. Oh God, wait, hang on. Let me see. I'm just going. I'll find it real quick. Great boxers from Connecticut. I'll tell you. Let me see here. Willie Pep. Willie Pep. Y'all heard of Willie Pep? Willie Pep. Willie Pep. Willie Pep. That's what I'm talking about. Willie Pep. I like Willie Pep too, man. Willie Pep. Yep. Willie Pep, man. That's him. That's him. Yeah, Willie Pep. He was from Hartford, I think. Yep. 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 Willie Pep. Yeah, PEP. Willie Pep. Yeah. Yeah, Willie Pep. Watch some Willie Pep stuff. That boy is something else, man. Yeah. It's Willie Pep is my man right there. I like him too. Yeah. So anyway, so that was gonna say. Hopefully the Deuce will be ready to be loose again on Tuesday, and the Knicks, Juju and them play Indiana and Halliburton and them tomorrow. Hopefully they get that dub, and we can go from there. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. I want to thank you for hanging out with us today. We had a good time talking a little boxing, talking a little Knicks, talking a little boxing, a little Knicks, right? Had a good time. Sometimes we get into some rap stuff. Sometimes we get into some other stuff. Today was a little boxing, a little Knicks. Y'all gonna get me go back and looking at some video from Willie Pep and Lights Out, man. Lights Out, Tony, my man. Y'all please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. We'll talk soon. Shalom.